Hi, and welcome to Bob Akmens Sports, America's #1 top sports handicapper since 1978. This is the first part of our soccer betting tips video, Introduction to Soccer Betting. In this part, we're going to be covering some interesting topics. We're going to discuss why betting world soccer may just be the very best betting sport of all. And we'll also discuss how I won 18 soccer bets in a row. When you're done with this part of the video, we welcome you to look at part 2, where we'll talk about the World Cup of soccer, the Olympics of soccer, and our results in the last World Cup. We'll talk about soccer betting in the United States and the state of soccer in the US, the sad state. And we'll talk about the unarguably best soccer league in the world, the English Premier League. Now, if you're an American and you're looking at this right now, congratulations. You're going to discover what the sharp gamblers and the rest of the world have known for years. Betting world soccer matches, and that's what games are called in the English-speaking portion of the world that isn't the United States, is probably the best and most profitable betting option there is, and that includes all American sports. Shocking, huh? Let's analyze that revelation and look at some of the reasons why that's been true for me in the years I've handicapped and bet soccer matches. First, understand that soccer, or football, as everyone else in the English-speaking world calls it, is played on every continent except Antarctica, and in every country of the world. It is far and away the most popular international sport there is, and tends to be the national sport of most countries. My world soccer coverage staggers the imagination. I cover more than 50 countries and more than 2,000 soccer clubs. That's what they call teams everywhere else in the English-speaking world. It boggles the mind. It also means that somewhere on this earth at any given time, the weather will be suitable to play soccer. You wouldn't really want to play or sit and watch a soccer match in northern Russia in January, though some fanatics, that's where the word fan comes from, probably do. But you can certainly play in dozens of other countries at that time. So, international soccer action is endless, day after day, even hour after hour. When I handicap soccer, I look at the match start times, which can range from 1 a.m. Eastern Time for a match in Japan to a match at 10 p.m. Eastern Time in Latin America. So how does betting soccer become a very, very profitable sport? Because there are hundreds and hundreds of games to choose winners from. It gets literally overwhelming during a fall weekend, because if I were to comb every available sports book that offers lines on every available soccer match, I would be looking at maybe 500 different matches on a weekend card. 500! And I don't know anyone who can look at that many games. I sometimes slip into the convention of calling them games instead of matches, without their eyeballs dropping out. So I'll look at what I believe to be the most available lines and choose several plays from a huge betting card for my clients. Now, as I detail in the How Bob Akmens Picks Winners page on our site, I use a computer model to do my soccer handicapping. It is by far the most selective of all of my computer models. And as I've explained, it can afford to be, with so much action going on elsewhere in the world other than just one country. That's why soccer is such a great betting sport for me. Now understand that my own clients, some of whom have been with me for 20 or 25 years, or even longer, in various sports, might also be reading and watching this information on my site. I would never jeopardize my reputation with phony baloney tales of great accomplishments that were nonsense. Having said that, I can tell you that a few years ago I had the most magical run in giving out soccer plays. I won 18 in a row. If that had happened due to pure chance, which it obviously didn't, the odds would have been astronomical. For instance, the odds of flipping a coin and getting 18 heads or tails in a row, which is essentially the same thing as picking Team A or Team B to win, though in soccer betting you have yet another option, which even extends the odds, and that's picking a draw to happen, what we call a tie in the U.S. Those odds of going 18-0 are more than 120,000 to 1 if it were pure chance. But I did it, and I clearly sent out my email reports daily listing those plays and noting to one and all when it was all over that we had done just that, won 18 plays in a row. Some were favorites, some were dogs, some were unders, and some were overs. And I tell you this little story so that you fully understand what is possible and what has been accomplished at Bob Akmens Sports through their World Soccer Service. And we're going to conclude the first part of our soccer betting tips video at this point. Please continue to watch part 2. We'll talk about the Soccer World Cup, which makes our Super Bowl pale by comparison. It's estimated that approximately 1/3 of all the humans on Earth watched the last World Cup. Is that amazing or what? We'll talk about the somewhat sad state of soccer in the United States, and we'll talk about a little bit about the best soccer league in the world, one of literally hundreds. I literally cover hundreds of leagues, the English Premier League. So we'd like to thank you for visiting. Stop and look around, look over the soccer pages on this site, look at the different pages for the different sports at this site, and I think you'll find something that will make you money and will interest you. And look over the content as well, because that's why we're here. Again, thanks for visiting. We're going to sign off now, and please go on to part 2 of this soccer intro video.